Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Troofalay episode. Today we have a very special guest. He is a running candidate for mayor of Schenectady, New York. He is a 5-time author published. He's an artist. He's checking all the boxes. Ladies and gentlemen, Orlondo Otis Hundley. Thank you. Thank you for coming, my guy.
Thank you.
So let's get down to it. Schenectady,
Yeah.
right? You're pushing to be running for mayor. I guess one of the first questions is, what was the first moment where you decided, I think I can make a change and run?
It's always, because like so much is about skill.
Mm-hmm.
Being young.
Yeah.
That's like the first thing people see when they
do.
see me online. Yeah. But it's just like I always like to leave people with the reminder. It's like it's not an accident we hear.
Yeah, it's really not.
And it's like even with like me being 28 and being very young,
Mm-hmm.
I've thought about this stuff my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
I've thought about ways that, not even like the idea of like focusing on Schenectady as a locality and the way that like that framework
Mm-hmm.
is different than like bigger issues of, like whether it be healthcare or like to the scale that you could do something about housing and affordability, but to like focus in on Schenectady and how this government body operates is an endeavor in itself.
Yeah.
And it's just like I've always known that I would do some sort of public service.
Mm-hmm.
And the high difference is between me and people whose careers are as old as anyone in this room.
Yeah.
It's like people want to spend their lives doing it,
Mm-hmm.
but we're trying to do it correctly.
True.
And we're trying to set frameworks where on the local level, and I mean like what people want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Frankly, is a politician who can fill in potholes.
Right.
They want to see someone who can, do what they're saying. And that like big understanding and just like how I find myself in this moment is, we've just learned and we've looked into how the city governs itself, how its revenue sources flow, how they are being split with third parties, and the people of Schenectady are collecting like the last dime. So it's just like I was always set in this direction.
Yeah.
But it's like the way in which, like what I'm saying is applicable.
Yeah.
Is highly different than I think most campaigns going on right now, especially with like, I'm in my hometown. Most people, a lot of politicians in upstate New York got run out of their hometown. I'm not even, I'm not saying this to be mean, but they didn't want to play a home game. They came to play an away game. Mm-hmm. And, so here I am, there are people who in much bigger offices than, the mayor of Schenectady from Schenectady never contested an election in this area.
Oh, wow.
So, and I mean, that's just the framework that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. And that, honestly, it's what you said, like politicians, especially when I think about the stigma around politicians in terms of the trust isn't always there. Yeah. And, to your point of youthfulness, meaning that you're younger, like people may have a certain hesitation towards that. Mm-hmm. But I think it's, we're in 2026 now. Yeah. It shouldn't be defined by appearance of age or anything. Yeah. It should be just defined by your character and what's your pure intention. Mm-hmm. And I think with you especially, I think people can see that in a crystal clear way. Yeah. Especially, on social media and everything, with how pure and it's just you in front of the camera saying, hey, this is what I gotta say, I'm gonna say it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just as simple as that, just taking the courage to make a video is something before you, or I don't even know if Marcus knows, I've never seen any sort of politician do that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
just level with you. Yeah.
Right. I'm just being honest. I'm being real. Like, so when you compare, you're already seeing green marks across the board. Mm-hmm. So I think that's really beneficial. And then another driving force of the campaign, which is really important, and it was something we said off camera, was, a ride can change somebody's life.
Big time.
Literally. And, you know, we talk about the CDTA and the buses connecting from Schenectady and Amsterdam. And, you know, now it even in Amsterdam, like we see the buses actually working now. But a couple years prior, that wasn't the case.
No.
You know what I mean? That wasn't not I had friends who couldn't make certain interviews for a job, for a check that can change their situation. So when that's not there and that's not a you know, a right for people of the town, problems start, you know, getting up there. So I think for you making that change and just, you know, making people aware of it is super important. So I guess to my point, what was something that you had seen or a moment where you're like, this just needs to be a right for everybody?
Well, definitely, like before I was driving, like, and I didn't get my license until I was 23. So I like up until I was 23, I walked everywhere. I was riding the bus. I was riding the 450, the 905, the 355. We're in Rotterdam Square Mall right now, and you know, like we are this studio, what Maurice has done here, what you guys are doing here, hosting this platform, is one of the things that is definitely going to revive it. But when you compare Rotterdam Square Mall to Crossgates, we really have to see that Crossgates is kept afloat by massive parking lots and the CDTA that is dropping off people from New Albany, from all across upstate New York, from every city. So of course you're going to have an influx of patrons in your mall contributing to that, especially when the people who work at the mall can afford to work at that mall because the CDTA is operating within the hours that makes that even possible. So many of the people who work across upstate New York, when they could be paying $2.50 for a bus ride, they're paying Uber $30. And I mean, just to break that down between the customer and the person providing the service, the driver, the person whose car is taking on all this mileage, taking on all this damage, that they're losing 30, 40, 60% in fees to Uber, and that money is leaving our economy. Whereas, like, you know, what I propose and what I'm very serious about is not a reactive, ride share service, but a proactive one that's, you know, where people are actively outside collecting money, where, you know, background checks are much tighter because frankly, you know, I hear from a lot of women across upstate New York, not just Schenectady. And, you know, while I'm running a campaign for mayor of Schenectady, they do call me the mayor of upstate New York out here. And so many, I mean, upstate New York is, you know, taking a beating to things like Uber and our roads. You can see it on our roads. You know, you just have to drive down any road that's not tolled, you know? So it's really about providing something that is stable for people so they can, you know, that's not just dropping them to and from work, and not just sustaining these large bodies of, you know, commerce, but like getting people to the grocery store, getting people to school. I mean, a number, I hear from parents all across Schenectady, all across upstate New York, they're in a situation where they're paying for Uber rides every morning for their kids to get to school.
Wow.
Who has that, like, who has that money, you know?
That's impossible.
It adds up at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, like, so just imagine if we're able to funnel those funds back into community outreach, you know, after school programs, things like those. And like, we just find, like, one of the prime concerns I have with upstate New York, especially with these smaller towns like Amsterdam, I can name Johnstown, Gloversville, cities like those, is, you know, I go to the kids a lot too, because they're so like important for the future. And like, you know, with these kids who are younger now, some of them are crazy out the mouth, I'll be honest. But I think it's also because, like we said, there's not enough, you know, after school programs, youth programs, things like this, to where, like, you know, it distracts a kid from just roaming the street, getting into a crowd he shouldn't get into. If he was at, you know, a brand new Chuck E. Cheese, a brand new Dave & Buster's down the block. That it seems small, but it has such a significant impact in the long run. And I think that's what, like, you know, to your point, running for mayor, we don't have enough like politicians pushing for a change we want to see. You know, in society today, especially with upstate New York. Like, it is dull and it's boring. And you wonder why we have such a high drug rate, because honestly, there's nothing else to do. So, I mean, it really comes down to that. And it's just something where, you know, I would love to think of upstate New York and be like, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, but it's only limited to this and that. And that's all I can do.
And so, I like your point you said about, you know, kind of connecting it to not just the needs of the people, but also just stimulating the local economy. Because I think of spots in this very mall where I'm like, yo, this spot is like one of the best spots that I can go to, and people don't know about it. I only wonder, now that I'm thinking about it, like, okay, what can we get done for this business if there was just more people to come to it, you know? So just hearing that you're so, like, you know, adamant about that and have that be a strong focus is actually kind of like enlightening to me, and it's something I never really thought about that heavily before. You know, it's cool.
And it's very refreshing. And when you think about, like, not everybody has this knowledge, because I don't know, you can fact check me on this, but
please, I think fact check me.
Yes.
Disclaimer,
please.
But like, I go to like Trump and Kamala, right? When they were running. I saw a statistic that said over like 91% of people who voted for, let's say, Kamala, didn't even know one policy that she was running for. So when you think about it like that, it's like, we are just so used to seeing something like a TikTok video per se that says all the information we need to know. And we don't do any research past that. And like, that's what the masses, you know, and I just think it's really important, like, locally, just be informed with the simple things. You know, like, your city hall is right there. It's something that can be utilized. It's just people just don't, with the daily function of life, like you said, a mom having to pay Uber for her kid. You think she's gonna be worried about a city hall?
No, not at all.
Right. I mean, that's like, speaking on that too, is just, I think a lot of people should concern themselves more with what's going on in their community rather than being online and worrying about the world abroad. Like, that's not a bad thing to do, but like, I like to think of it as more, what can you actually do to affect people around you in your life other than just replying to a comment section, or like, like, is there something that you could be a part of in your community that might actually make a difference for your neighbors or your family, whatever? You know what I mean?
No,
so that's
important. I mean, mutual aid, conversations like this. I mean, and it just, I mean, like, the person is like, it's so hard to say who I'm running against. I mean, I wouldn't give one man or person, you know, too much credit, because like, I think, I mean, I've done a lot of things strategically in the course of this campaign. And, I mean, whether it be like me, like, claiming the TikTok mayor of Schenectady, that's like, I have some people who engage with me as if I am the mayor of Schenectady. Like, and it's like, I might have fucked up on that regard, you know, because like, you know, it's like the city's struggling right now, you know. But that, I mean, I don't know if you've seen the new Schenectady billboards.
I haven't actually.
So they're everywhere, and it's a social media, you know, it's an advertising campaign that was meant to be like first of its kind hybrid between you know, the billboards, physical media, and you know, the social media. And I mean, so, but they never claimed any of the social media handles. So there are these massive billboards all across Schenectady that say New Schenectady. I now own the Instagram, the YouTube, the TikTok, and when you Google New Schenectady, I come up, and they spent $250,000 on these billboards. So it's just like, it's like, I have all of these, I've made these major plays, you know, and I've made, and it's just like, like, I know they're in offices going, huh.
They're like, he's doing it again.
If he did what, but no, but like they've left these lanes like completely open, and it's just like I've said on like so many interviews up until this point, like I've taught more people how to say Schenectady than live in Schenectady, and this is hard, cold facts. Just by the numbers.
Facts.
And it's just like, especially when you have Schenectady, it's like when it goes viral, it's like people mispronouncing our name.
Yeah.
So to like combine all of that, with like, that's the virality of Schenectady. And then I have these social media handles that lend themselves, to, the current establishment. But fundamentally what I'm talking about, a cross issue, and even when I talk about bigger issues, it lends itself to growth because I'm speaking candidly,
right?
Me and a camera. I'm finding people like the algorithm works in such crazy ways. I like people have found me who haven't seen me since kindergarten. Like teachers, like teachers, have found me and they go, I always knew you would be like this. My teacher said the opposite.
Was the one.
I knew it. My grandfather who passed away just 2 years ago. Like I was on TikTok telling a story about him and people who used to go into the restaurant. He used to work in Cafe Capriccio in Albany.
Oh wow.
They're like, oh, I remember your grandfather and he would always talk about you. So like, we've made like genuine connections across the internet. And I really do open the door to people, challenging me on the sort of things that I've raised. Especially when it comes to our funding mechanisms, because like we have a city government right now, it's currently shut down. I'm not gonna, it's because there was a vacancy on the city council over the summer.
Okay.
Guy moved to Florida, into the first year into his term. First term,
wow.
He moves to Florida. I'm not gonna judge him. Mayor said it. The current mayor, Gary McCarthy, said in an article, I thought he was gonna stay here. I thought he was gonna stay in this apartment, but he left. And then they went months without filling this vacancy. Legally, it is incumbent upon the city council they have the ability to fill vacancies. They waited months. An election transpired. And they didn't fill the vacancy. They did so much city business, whether it be, finalizing the budget, which was one of the latest. They turned in this most recent budget, and almost as late as any budget in Schenectady history. And they were attempting to cut youth programs and a bunch of other stuff, while we're not looking at tax revenue that, and tax revenue. The sales tax revenue, big part of my plan is to increase the sort of business that goes on in Schenectady County and upstate New York. And when you do that, you benefit from the sales tax. And the reality of our sales tax, 50% of the county sales tax goes to Metroplex every year. And I forget the word, but it's one of them in perpetuity. That's the word. When you see perpetuity on a contract, you might be fucked.
Right.
Okay.
All right. You just make sure. It might be good. It might. You really got to be on one side or the other.
Check. Right.
So you said Metroplex.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's a development authority that it essentially operates alongside the county.
Okay.
And they have it's something that can be this, like even ChatGPT will tell you it has power that supersedes election cycles.
Wow.
And that is very true, because when you have city governments, and this is like game, but when you have municipal governments who can only raise revenue really through like a finite way, which is property taxes.
Okay.
So, and I saw a great quote that someone compared, like all the talks of, like tariffs and stuff like that, but like property taxes are a tariff on your rent. When property taxes go up, your rent goes up, so it's so in the way that those two things have been connected, that's something I also really try to connect, because, we want our tenants to have the strongest rights that they've ever had. And we also don't want our homeowners kicked out of their homes when we're raising taxes on them. And they're footing a bill that, they never really agreed to.
Exactly.
That's huge.
That's like, but Metroplex has, and it's like, I'm running a campaign that's very similar to someone who challenged the current mayor of Schenectady, and he only lost by 89 votes.
Oh.
And he was the former president of Union College, and he talked about in 2011, which is a very long time ago today.
Yeah.
You know, I remember years by like who was wrestling.
Right.
2011 was really like 15 years ago.
Yeah, time flies.
Yeah. So, but he was saying about how Metroplex failed to reach so many of our neighborhoods and how it failed them. And you know, so much of our history is based upon like I always struggle to say this word, but you know, this is like we talking that talk, you know, and you gotta stumble sometimes, but the deindustrialization of upstate New York, I landed that.
You got it.
Lock it.
Dude, that was great.
But like, it's just like we had one of the greatest trolley systems in America.
Yeah.
And it led directly to GE. And it's like, once again, it's just like that common thread of our public transit systems lending themselves to these businesses that benefit, they're subsidized by our public transit. And their ability to operate and, you know, pay their people, you know, a living wage, as you would say, is based on so many of these systems. But as soon as GE got shut down, and please look into that, you know, very, very toxic, very, very toxic. But they ripped up the trolleys, and we have a history. New York had one of the greatest railways. That's because so much of the commerce that was coming into America for so long was coming through New York harbors, and it was being put on New York rail and then being taken to the rest of the country. They ripped that up and they opted for roads. But you know, that's, you know, and that's a sort of history that like I've highlighted throughout this campaign because our railways are so important. It's like the fact that we barely even have any that lend themselves to commuter, and then people are paying the price of nobody being on the train. You know,
man.
You know, like, so it's all of that stuff is coming together. And, you know, when cities, and it's like, let me get back to like the original point, but when cities have a limited way in which they can raise revenue, which is through property taxes, you put everyone at a disadvantage. Now, when we look to things like public transit, when we look to things like how we're creating our workforce, what we're centering that around, and who we're asking to come here and build, and what advantage that lends to our residents, and to what extent are people being pushed out because we're not offering that education, or even it's like the one thing that like pissed me off, and I was too young to like speak on it, but the whole thing about like teaching coal miners to code.
Oh,
are you ever heard of this?
Not familiar.
They you know, and we want clean green industry,
right?
But the idea that, you know, you're gonna get people who have spent their whole life in a coal mine to just totally switch what they're doing career wise in such a way that, you know, it makes no sense. Like, oh, you're gonna go from a coal mine to coding. Maybe your kids, maybe we can set up schools that, you know, that set the foundation for the next generation, but we have found ourselves just discarding people, and throwing them out and destroying the systems that facilitated them even doing the work that they did. So that's like, I want to raise money through a sales tax, and how you even get there is I have fundamentally, as mayor and as a citizen, I have two forms of power. It's public power, and then it's the power of the law.
Right.
And so many of these people, no one wants to take it to court. Right? Like, and it's just like no one really wants to take it to court.
Right.
Because when you're in a courtroom, you better hope the judge is your friend, because no one really knows what they be talking about. And when you really have to produce the amount of money you're spending, where did that money go? When you're actually auditing these things, when you're going through these things with a fine comb, the way people talk is different, and that's and I've seen the legal route. People failed with the legal route, but that's because people don't want to change too much.
Yeah.
But that's also why the public power is so important, because there are so many politicians who don't have, like, they've been in the office 30 years, don't know nobody.
But that's
a shot.
Like, okay, right, so like, and that's a really good point, because I think to the public perspective, you want someone, especially in terms of the power of the law, to connect to their story. You want to attach yourself to something. You know what I'm saying? So if you're out here, you're telling your story purely, genuinely, I think most of the masses, you know, can attach to that. Whereas, like, to your point, there's been people in certain positions for a number of decades that haven't even put out a video saying, hello, people. Hello, town that I'm representing.
Merry Christmas, you know.
It's so easy to make a video.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's like, bro, I know you took office back when they were recording on, like, you know, camcorders. But we got iPhones.
Like, you know, you can go live now.
Like, come on.
My God.
Get with it.
Like, Greg, you could take one Instagram post. That's all it takes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just do it, man. But, like,
do numbers for
that's the thing to where, like, I guess growing up for me, when I saw politicians and the whispers, rumors, this and thing, one of the biggest things I had in my head was not trusting and not putting enough effort. Like, you did all that like strategy for your campaign. You put funding, you put ads, you put this and that, just to go into the office, the chair, and be like, I'm gonna just sit now. I'm gonna just sit now. I'm getting paid. Taxpayers' dollars, blah, blah, blah. And I'm chill now. I'm comfortable. I don't have to do anything else. And that's the part where you're never going to attach yourself to the masses if that's all they see. You know, so I think with you, the story is out there. The pages are there to be read. And it's up to the public person if they want to dive in or not. But at least with you, the book is open. Someone doesn't have to come in with a blowtorch and a bazooka to try to, you know, pry just
a little bit of info.
Some sort of info, emotion, a high, like, you know, that's the part where I think it kind of pisses me off a little bit, you know, because it's just like, you are in a position that a lot of people would do certain things for. You know, and I think you have to be a good, genuine person yourself to understand that this is a position that can be a God-given thing. You know what I mean? Because you have literally a position to change certain, you know,
people's lives.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Reframes of laws that can, you know, drive revenue, sales tax, this and that, like things like that. And it's, you know, I wish people had a little more knowledge about it. I mean, I'm not some social economic guru or something like that, but like, learning how to dive into that is the first step. I think. And another thing I wanted to bring up is like with Amsterdam. Right? Amsterdam is a town where it baffles me the more I think about it. Like the hierarchy of social class is literally mapped out by the geographical terrain of how the city is. So the closer you are to the river, right, the more so-called low-income families may reside. Whereas literally you get on Route 30, and the more you go up, all of a sudden, the tax brackets start to get higher. Credit scores start rising. Medium income starts to when you're at the top where, that's a lot different from down on the river.
And it's only a couple miles.
Right. And it's so baffling how a block makes a difference. You know, so to me, that's where it's like, and when you are on that side that's closer to the river, we talk about public transportation. A lot of people don't have cars to get all the way up to the other side of town to get to the Walmart where they could go grab a cucumber. You know, where on that strip, they literally just have Dollar General. And hey, shout out Dollar General, but they're not known for their delicious variety of fruits and veggies.
I've never seen an apple.
Man. You know what I mean?
Never, we need produce.
You know, so it's things like that are like so obvious, but oblivious at the same time.
I think it's like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like most people are just not even involved in their local politics.
They could care less. I mean, sometimes.
Yeah.
Like genuinely.
So hopefully just more people get inspired to just kind of like look into their own town and be like, okay, like what can we be doing better? Who's running? And like, is this someone that aligns with what I want to do for my city? But people don't even think about that. A lot of people just sit stagnant in their town and complain, and it's unfortunate to see. Yeah, I just wish it would change. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's either that or Florida gets them.
Yeah, no,
like,
really.
Seriously, like
I mean, one of the crazy things is it's just like when you make videos and you put content out, it's just like everyone has their perception of you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like one of the things that I was thinking like about like when people interact with my content, like there are people who they hear me and they just go like, "Oh, bro is always complaining." Shit.
No, my bro always chat.
Yo, it's like, yo, what do you like? What do you like? Do you like anything about this city?
Right.
And then the people are like, yo, he loves that city, and he loves this city. I ain't never seen a man love his city like
really
that.
love it.
So it's like it's so funny, you know, because like, you have to, and it's just like people who go love it or leave.
Yeah.
It's just like, no. I love it, so I'm gonna fix it.
Right. There you
go.
Yeah,
and like I've attempted, like, and it's just so funny because like another layer to this is just like there are people who at one point were saying to me like, oh, this guy just doing it for likes. When I was getting no likes.
Like how
not a like. I was doing it for the love of the game.
For
the love of the game.
Yeah.
And then it's just like in the last 2 months, like I just get a text every day. It's like, yo, I just like people just from all eras of my life, just like, yo, I just at Cumberland Farms and a random dude just brought you up. You know, I was like, yo, my son heard about you, and he's like, we were hanging out and we were just shooting the shit. He brought you up organically, you know, and it's like those are the people who like me.
Right.
You know?
Right.
There's a whole cohort of people who they're in the same conversations. I hate this.
Yeah.
Like, yo, like you don't even know how bad he is.
Yeah.
You know? But no, it's. But I just like to clarify.
Yeah.
I do love my city.
Yes, sir.
And everything you've heard is true.
Yep.
But you know, just like whatever you think it is what it is. You know, and it's like, and that's you gotta rise above it.
Yeah, you do. Like, you gotta. You know, coming into I guess, like you said, the game and stuff, it's like the way I see it, I'm going to keep pushing content out because y'all can comment, do this. Ain't nobody going to come knocking on my door.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the way I have to see it. Ain't none of y'all going to come knock on my door.
Yeah.
So if I eliminate that fear behind that, I eliminate that anxiety, and I know that's easier said than done because you know, even as content creators, I have doubts.
Yeah.
They creep up. They are frequently there. You know what I mean? But you rise to a higher power. You got to rise to the reasoning as to why did I come this way? Why did I come so far? And I don't think enough people have a why.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I think if they did, they'd have that sense of courage to go above a comment that was just said.
Yeah.
You know, because it is absolutely fascinating to me how a comment in today's world from another stranger across the world can neutralize somebody's whole entire plan of action.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Bro.
Yeah.
That's the world we live in.
Yeah.
Like that is the world we live in.
Yes.
And like I've had it happen to me sometimes.
Yeah.
Where I fixated on a comment from somebody I literally do not know.
Yeah.
I don't know your mama, your brother, your sister, uncle, dad. I do not know.
Yeah.
But yet that comment is striking fear, doubt, anxiety. Why did I do this? That was so corny what I said. I shouldn't have uploaded. And then you could go down that rabbit hole all day. But then I go back to my why. I go back to like there ain't nobody gonna come knocking on my door. And then all of a sudden it's like a game in the map. The fog clears. And then you can fixate more on like, oh yeah, why should I give a fuck?
Why should I care?
Why?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Literally.
Like what?
Especially when you know you built your platform just like you don't speak with any malintent or try to misguide people or farm content. It's just like genuine conversation that we have. And it's bold enough that you're putting your voice out there along with being on camera.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of people that type a comment won't even have half the courage to do that. You know what I mean? So,
and it's just like the way I see it too is like genuinely taking advantage of the world we live in and what we are able to do. Because if this was 1998, this would be a completely different story. It genuinely would.
We get in trouble for doing this. For like three different reasons.
I don't know if that trio looks right.
What do you say?
You're educated? Oh, heck. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, I mean, like the parallels are absolutely insane. And how somebody can neutralize you. You know, I think the mind is such an incredible thing with how it could just flip on the dime. You know, and it's something that, like, going back to politics, if people can just really engage, and I'm not saying you have to know every, law in the book, this and that. No, I'm just saying like the briefest info you can find goes a long way. Like knowing what time my CDTA bus route comes at this stop on this street in this town.
Knowing what a CDTA is.
Right. Exactly.
Capital District Transit Authority. You know what?
Yeah.
We just get caught up in acronyms.
Yeah.
Or just being like a citizen of the town that you're trying to, take a role in politics, and just being like on a real level with other people to where they're like, oh, that guy could be my neighbor. Like, you know what I mean? Like I feel him. He's definitely from Schenectady. Like, you know what I mean?
But that's another thing. That's a good point too. Like people don't talk to their neighbors anymore though either, I feel like. Like it's very hesitant to go over, literally walk, knock on the door and say, you know what? Hi. Like
people are homebodies now, dude.
You know what I'm saying? And like, I understand you love your home, you love your humble abode and this and that, but I think people should have a certain social aspect to them to tap into, at least, because I know it can be fearful being outside in the public, and I get it, you get anxiety ridden, but like sometimes you never know who you're gonna meet that could lead you to the right door.
Dude, I'm guilty of that. I don't talk to my neighbors, and I have plenty of neighbors, and I've lived there for like 2 years. You know what I mean? It's hard. You know what I mean?
And you have no idea what they can teach you either.
Right.
So on the flip side,
it just goes back to that like community aspect of things, like just making a difference even amongst your neighbors can be so like beneficial, instead of like worrying about so many like bigger things. People get out a little ahead of themselves. You know what I mean? In this day and age.
Yeah, they really do.
I mean, there are a lot of people who there are a lot of local officials who they never talk about local issues. Like, and it's like, yo, it's the craziest jutsu to pull off.
Like, why are you talking about like international or like national things? You know what I mean? Like,
and you wrong. You're just saying what everyone else is saying around you. It's not even you're not even going out on your limb.
Right.
Yeah, you really not.
So a lot of people. And sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
No, it's just like just so many people, they never talk about local issues. And it's just like my videos that do the best, I'm literally talking about policy. Like, and it's just like I've had, and that's like the kind of like threatening thing I think about my social ride. Like there are videos where I'm just being funny as shit.
it's showing a side of you.
Yeah.
Like, gotta have fun.
Yeah. And just trolling, and even like the posts that are like quasi-threatening that I do, but like my videos that go the furthest and that have led to like my reach expanding are me literally talking about the things that I've researched and putting it into, people are always commenting on my videos like, yo, this is the longest TikTok I've ever seen.
Nice.
But like, but they finished it.
Right. They finished.
I think the same way. When I watch a long TikTok, I'm like, yo, I really just sat there for like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So, dude, that's great.
I think it's crazy how we've reached a point in time where like we have to applaud ourselves for watching something that's only 15 seconds.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like, we really have to be like, yo, bro, good job, bro. Like, you've been there for less than 20 seconds.
People are proud of themselves to the point where they're hitting you up like, yo, like, and obviously you're doing something, right? You talk about like policy and stuff.
Yeah.
I wish that's what more people just focused on,
Yeah. No, and it's, partially just like walking up to the camera and the air of, you never know what I'm going to say.
Yeah. Like, you just prepare.
This guy's a wild.
You don't know what.
No, you just don't know. And sometimes I don't know what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
But I got like 7 things that I've been thinking about that day. Yeah. And then I just got this dope location.
Yeah.
And, but like, it's, and that's like, there's like so many like social media tricks that you can do. Like overall, I focus on just like, not just like when posting to Instagram, posting to Instagram in that sense, but posting to the internet in a way that would rank in search engines. Yeah. So I'm not just being discovered on social media, but I'm the answer to somebody's question.
Ooh. Right. Yeah. There you go.
It's like when they're on Google, I'm like, literally my video comes up, me talking about a certain issue that comes up.
There you go.
And, just like the psychology trick of like, I'm from Schenectady. I know the locations that, like, if you see in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, I know exactly where that is. Yeah. Like, I even do some videos in the most dangerous areas I can find. Just to let people know I'm like that.
Right. I'm bred like that.
Like, my
mom knows the spot.
Yo, my mom would text me like, yo, why were you there?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like so many things go into it. And it's just like, we're having like this internal Schenectady dialogue where a lot of people who are in the city government, they like to avoid, even though like we're doing, what we're doing is historic. Across the board, and like, just like what you guys are doing here, like the things that are being built, just with consistency across upstate New York, like we're in a historic moment. Yeah. Some of us are having more fun than others. Yeah. Some of us will be still doing what we're doing in 5 years, and it's just like some of us are building foundations that are going to, hopefully survive a lot of the economic turmoil that's going to stem from, just like how technology is advancing, how the dollar is going. Yeah. But it's just like, I'm ranking in search results in a very real way. I'm changing, the perception of what, the outlook of Schenectady is. And then I'm also introducing Schenectady as a known quantity to the rest of the state. And it's just like for a New Yorker, and this is like, we get so much hate as upstate New Yorkers.
No, we really.
Yo.
Doesn't end.
What's beef, man? Yo, get it clear out, man.
I saw a video on TikTok and it went viral. I'm sure you guys heard of this. It's like top 10 worst places to live in New York, and Schenectady was number 1. Yeah. I was like,
what is with this propaganda?
Yo,
bro, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Like, look, like, I'm not from here. I'm not gonna claim like I know this place, but worst place in New York? Come on now. I don't know about that.
Yeah. Cap. No.
It could get deep, dog. I mean, want to talk about worst place?
I don't know. I feel like people hate upstate New York as a rule, though. You know what I mean? They hate upstate in general as a rule. Like, people down like from the city will be like, "Oh, that's upstate. That's not really New York."
We're not New Yorkers.
Yeah.
And this bleeds into state policy, like, in a real way. It bleeds into state policy in a real way because they don't see us as New Yorkers. They don't and then they don't allow us to fund, to look at our own systems and to build up our own thing and to offer to our residents on our own level. And the thing is, when you're looking out for 500,000 people, and the thing is, this is like big thing.
Yeah.
If people think that Orlondo Otis Hundley can't make a city better for 70,000 residents, you're insane.
Yeah.
Because we're only just getting started. All right. So, but when it comes down to the understanding that I am an upstate New Yorker, I am a New Yorker, I am from Schenectady. And Schenectady was not just a city that lit the world; it held the world. So we are a fundamental part of New York's history. Yeah. We're in a city that's older than the country itself. I mean, we have the name of that was given to us by the Native Americans. Yeah. So like just on so many levels, there's not a more American city with like from each of our eras, whether it be the colonial period or the industrial period. We are an American city that is once again experiencing another revival, and it's going to be based on the fact that upstate New York forms a sort of cohesion around our systems, whether that be our hospitals, our public transit, our schools, our libraries, our banking, and it's just about putting our foot down and saying even one big thing that like we're going to be like, just like for the campaign, not every demographic that matters is inside of Schenectady. So like one of the most important groups of people in New York State are farmers, and it without a doubt, and upstate New York is home to some of New York's greatest farmers, and the sort of constraints that they're under dealing with factory farming and the sort of regulation that they're under, that it makes it easier to get a tomato from Argentina. It makes it cheaper to get a tomato for Argentina than to get one from a New York farmer. So, and these are things that I'm hearing from people, not just in our farming community, but also in our serving community, because they even see the hypocrisy of the fact that we don't support our farms. So to be a mayor of upstate New York, and this is like to be an official in upstate New York, we need to be supporting the officials that know that they owe a deep debt to our farmers. And I think you don't hear people saying that, so, and it's really like in this campaign, I'm speaking with a sort of wisdom because some of us have been here before. Some of us have genuinely been here before. Some of us genuinely want to see a successful New York State. We want an upstate New York that can provide for itself, and provide for others. Right. But we got to get some shit straightened out first.
You got.
Oh yeah.
We got to put some work in.
Yeah. And I don't know the half of it. You could probably, I could sit here and listen to you talk about it like endlessly. I mean, like, dog, no, how old are you?
I'm 28.
28, so 27 years from now. Okay, that's 2033, Orlondo Otis Hundley for president. I'm saying it right now. Come on, let's go.
No. I mean,
no,
and that's what people, that's what, like, I go to Albany, they're calling me the governor. Like, and the thing is, it's like the whole perception, like the social media thing, the fact that videos of me saying what I'm going to do is going viral.
Yeah.
Wait until I record the video of me doing it.
Yo. Dude, that's sick.
Yo.
Wait, did I get that right?
Yo.
Is it 35 that people can 30, president or 45?
35. Yeah,
35. All right, my math was good.
So, and it's just like, no, it's we're gonna go all the way.
Yes.
Dude, I believe in you. I feel like even just talking here for the time that we did, I feel like just a little bit more enlightened about what's going on around me. Because honestly, I came in here like blind and just like not knowing what to expect. But you seem to have a really good head on your shoulders, and you seem like a genuine dude. And
thank you.
I think that's going to carry you a long way through your endeavors, no matter what the outcome is.
Thank you.
For sure. And like going off that point, I think one of the most refreshing things is like, it's speaking with wisdom, like you said, but also with information, being informative. How many officials have you seen say something for 30 minutes and they ain't said shit the entire time?
Oh man, just going on and on. I think they call that a filibuster.
You just said gibberish. It's crazy. You said nothing for almost an hour straight.
A nothing burger, as some would say.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just saying pointless words, not getting to the exact point.
People just want to know what's good and just be related to. You know what I mean? Like, people just want people that are supposed to represent them to get on their level.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm kind of like projecting here. I say people, but really, like, this is my personal experience because I don't like to get involved in politics at any level, but you know what I mean? I feel like, I don't know, I always talk about like, oh, if people could just be more active in their communities. I'm kind of a hypocrite because I don't do none of that stuff myself. And I guess that's just a reflection of like, you know, how I feel about maybe myself. But no, man, I feel like, I don't know, it'd be cool to make a difference around here in Schenectady, man. I plan on living here longer and I'd like to see some change.
Yeah.
You know?
It's also like going back to what you said, upstate New York is like, you know, I think politically, if you want to, you know, empower the economy, like I think this is it genuinely is a gold mine. Like you said, if you straighten out these certain problems in these cities, you know, now we see more jobs rising. Now we see, you know, lower property taxes, this and that, and we're thriving more. We have a whole, apart from this small part of the section of the state, that's the city and all that, we have all this that can just flourish.
Yes.
And you will have thriving communities every which direction.
Yeah.
And I think that should be the ultimate goal. And I think it's a shame that, you know, we have to wait so long for a change with something so subliminal.
Yeah.
It's not even we have to wait literally a decade for a small pothole problem.
Yeah.
So we're never going to get to the big picture because by the time we do get to it, I would be 73 in hospice.
And that's what they
like.
That's literally their plan.
Yo,
that's the plan. Yeah.
So you wonder why shit don't change is because like I said in the beginning of the episode, someone went through a whole campaign, had funding, had ads, had this, just to get in the office to sit their ass down.
And now it's 30 years later.
30 years later. Generations passed.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Like, it's just absolutely mind-baffling to me because I think if an official that went in with pure, genuine intent, there's no way. We have laws that allow you to get shit done with the position you have.
Yeah.
So why am I waiting on time for some? You got there. You did it. You put the hard work in.
Right.
That's where it genuinely baffles me. And then you wonder why nobody cares.
Right.
You wonder why I could give less of a beep, you know, as to what this politician said this, because like we're not expecting, that's the thing. That's the problem.
Disappointment.
We're not expecting change. We just expect the same result.
Yeah.
Yep. That's where the line is like, you know, all faded.
No. And it's just like, just a wake up call to anyone who comes across it.
Yeah.
You think the campaign is me running for mayor. No, the campaign is me doing the thing that I said while I was running for mayor. That's what's really going to propel us to the situation and the ability to make a huge difference in so many people's lives. You know, it's just like when you do a good job and it's just like people are going to be grading me. And it's like no one has more people watching them. Right? Do an endeavor like this.
Yeah.
In upstate New York, by the numbers.
Yeah.
By the numbers, if I fail, I'm going to have a lot of people watching. So when I start filling in these potholes, and we've already done the numbers, $9 million to fix the roads in Schenectady. That at once, one fell swoop. That's $9 million all at once. Now, some of those potholes will return because with little known secret, it's mostly a drainage issue. And, you have so many areas where water just gets underneath the asphalt, gets underneath the road, and then it pops it. And then that's the continual issue. That's and it's because it doesn't drain anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere. And then that leads to a whole lot of pollution. But we're going to fix these things because we're looking at them and they are our proving ground to deal in bigger issues.
Yeah.
To make more things right. And the fact that there are still so many potholes across upstate New York, across this country. And it's like, that's what, I mean, anywhere in this country, you could run for office on just filling in potholes. That's an American truth,
dude.
Truthfully,
I would vote.
Clock it.
Yeah. I'm there. Yes. Going to the polls.
Like you could just allow us to be your consultant for a second. Just run on that.
Yeah.
Don't talk about anything else. But if you do it, oh my God, people will trust you and they will look to you for so many other things, and that's beyond political alignment. That's service.
Yeah.
That's service.
Community,
and
man.
That's what it should be at the end of the day. You were an elected official to serve the people in your community. Is that not the sentence?
It's not a title.
That's not the description.
It's not a platform to do your weird, signaling and all the other nonsense.
Yeah.
Like, cut it out.
It's service to the public.
Yeah.
Let's start acting like it.
And, to be honest, Orlondo, I think you're the perfect candidate for that.
Thank you.
With how informative you are, with how you answer the questions, with how you just get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fact that there's your book is open for everybody to see. It's pure. It's intentional. It's something that people can attach to, like I said. And I genuinely think that's going to be the major thing to get you over the line.
Thank you.
And I think with everybody backing you, you already got our votes. That's for sure. So, I wish nothing but huge things for you. And I genuinely thank you for your time coming in today.
Thank you, guys.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
So y'all like, comment, subscribe, do what you got to do. We love y'all. Adios.
Keep it truthful.
Yeah.